Grand Rising, family. Hurry up, let's go. Hold on. Okay. Zelle work on there. Grand Rising, family. Give everybody a chance to get notified. Great seeing everyone today. Everyone's doing well. Got a little bit of time, so I wanted to come together real quick, have a little discussion about what we're seeing going on right now. Beautiful out here in Chino. Good, sir. Looking at just putting everything together. Yeah, man. Seeing how they are manipulating everything, smashing likes and everything. I think will make no difference. You know, they're constantly trying to hide all the things that are going on. I like that video yesterday where we talked about, you know, people paying to have their children assaulted. And they didn't like that too much, as you could tell with the numbers and, you know, and everything else. I'm like, I don't know what the problem is. Y'all don't like truth now? He said all of a sudden now you guys talk about truth and freedom and, you know, and equality, and you guys like to talk about all the things that you guys, you know, your history and how great you are, and all we're doing is talking about your history. You know, come over here, sir. Want to do this now? I'm gonna chill here for a minute. You want it? I just want to chill. I don't know. Okay. I said, yeah. So it's funny because, yeah, they're removing comments, they're removing everything. I said, what's the problem? That's what I want to know. This is your guys' history. This is the history you guys have, you know, have been hiding, and this is prophecy going on right now. You know, I said, and what we got to understand is this: you vassals. You know, just like us Israelites, we have suffered because generational curses. You know, many of the things that we have suffered has followed us down through our DNA. So, you know, we're a pretty screwed up people. You know, until the Most High sent us the Holy Spirit to awaken us to our greatness. But before that, we had 99% of the world working together to keep us mentally and spiritually and physically destroyed. And you've been part of it too. I said, don't sit here, you know, I said, and act like you guys haven't been. You're just playing the sidelines, whatever else. You have been taking the bag as well. Maybe not to the same extent as you know, the colonizers, as these Edomites and everything else. I said, but you've gone around and you've kept a blind eye to absolutely everything while we've been catching hell. You've been catching some hell too, and I'm not saying you haven't. See, that's the whole thing. It's not one extreme to the other. You're in the middle. You are pretty much just kind of like fair weather fans. Oh, you know, the Raiders are winning today. I'm a Raiders fan. Oh, the Ravens are winning now. The Raiders suck now. The Ravens are great now. I'm a Ravens fan. So you just pretty much go through, you know, whoever's at the top, that's what you follow. That's what you're made to do. Okay? That's not a bad thing, good thing, whatever else. That's just what you're made to do. Everybody has, you know, everybody has their purpose of what they're made for, right? So the colonizers were on top, so you pretty much just made a covenant to do whatever the colonizers told you to do. They said, we want your kids, you gave them the kids. You know, they told you to hate us, you've hated us. Now some of the people, the vassals in the middle, have been like, nah, I'm gonna follow the Most High's people, even if that means I've gotta, you know, be excommunicated from the church. I gotta, you know, I gotta go ahead and go through some things, you know, more than the other vassals. Then so be it. Those ones are being awakened to this truth as well. Okay, so. But something that I came across last night was a book called Slavery by Another Name. If you have not seen, I mean, I can only read a few pages at a time because the stuff that was in that book, I mean, just it hurt my spirit to read it. It hurt my soul to read it because, I have children. And if you have children, it just everything hits a little bit deeper when you, have children, right? And thank you guys for taking care of the chat. We see all these trolls are all over the place, which we already, they got nothing at this point. So that's all that they have is to try to troll. You know what I'm saying? Please take care of that. We appreciate you guys. Thank you. But slow down, sir. We're not in a hurry. But the thing was in that book, Slavery by Another Name, it's going into the convict leasing, program, and the stuff that they were doing to our people it explains the Civil War. I said everyone acts like, they were doing the morally right thing in the Civil War to stop slavery, right? I said that wasn't why they were stopping slavery. Okay, the reason they were stopping slavery was because only a certain amount of people, were able to benefit from slavery. Only the South was able to benefit from slavery, right? So what they wanted to do was they got rid of the system of slavery so that only a few people could benefit from it, so that then more people could benefit from it. Then they instituted the 13th Amendment, which they gave us certain rights, they said, and then they just took it all back because they said as soon as you commit a crime, you pretty much lose all of your rights once again. You pretty much become a slave once again. Okay, and that's exactly what they did. So now they put you into jail, and then they end up renting you out, leasing you out as an individual, right? They leased out our people as individuals. So then they didn't have to, in slavery, they at least had to, they kind of had to take better care of us because we were a financial investment. They could borrow against us like a house, a car. They could borrow against us having children. They could borrow against all of those things, right? And they had a vested interest to keep us alive, to somewhat treat us a little bit better. Zion, come here. A little bit better, right? You can go look over there. I said they could do those kinds of things, right? So they had a vested interest in trying to keep us somewhat better maintained. Well, once they supposedly gave us our freedom, and then we ended up going into the system, they made up all these black codes and all these laws against us. Then they would throw us into jail. Then these companies would lease us, and there was no interest in keeping us alive, because as soon as they got rid of us, or they just go rent or lease new slaves. So the treatment seemed to even gotten worse after this. You see what I'm saying? The treatment even seemed to have gotten worse, because then they didn't have to eat. It wasn't a financial investment for them, right? Then they could just work us to death, and that's what they were doing. They were working our people. They were dying within 4, 5, 6 months. They would get these ridiculous sentences of long time, years for like petty offenses, and they would be working our people to death. I said they would be working our people to death. So there was a couple of accounts, because they were putting us in these mines in Alabama. In this book, it talks about these mines in Alabama. They were making us go in, and they were just, they'd make these barracks, and some of these places would have 10, 20,000 slaves they called convict leasing, right? And there was accounts of like 12-year-old kids dying in the mines. 12-year-olds, 15-year-old kids being killed or worked to death or dying in these mines. They wouldn't have any food, they wouldn't have any water, and the water that would kind of like seep through the holes into these certain areas our people would be working. People would have to, relieve themselves in it. They would have to crap in there, they would have to pee in there and everything else, and then there was no other water to drink, so they were drinking it, and they were getting dysentery, and they were just dying of diarrhea and everything else, right? All of these things, and they didn't care. They just kept working us to death, because as soon as they worked you to death and you died, they just come and pull up another one. They would come up and just get another slave, another convict. And did you know also that if you didn't they had us like tiered off, like tier 1 slave or convicts, and tier 3 and tier 4, and how much money you'd have to pay for them, right? Well, the tier 1 ones had to get like 2 to 4 tons of whatever they were having, a jackhammer or whatever they were doing down there a day. And if they didn't get the quota, they were whipped. They were whipped, just like slavery. Just like when you watch 12 Years a Slave. An old girl was out there picking all the cotton way more than the men, and she was good, but if the men didn't pick enough cotton, what were they doing to them? What were they doing to them? Whipping them at the end of the day because they didn't get enough cotton, because they didn't pick up enough cotton that day. So they were doing this. This is in the late 1800s, after supposedly slavery was over, 1900s, that they were doing this kind of stuff. Okay? Now, understanding this, the whole world is aware of this. The whole world is aware. You vassals were aware of this as well. Okay? You guys are all part of this, and you guys are all aware of this as well. The vassals included. Okay? So, you guys saw the treatment of our people. You guys saw what was happening to our people. Right? So, let me see here, boy. I said, so, what did you guys do? You had a choice still. You know, I said, you taught your kids, hey man, you better hate those black people. You better hate those Negroes. You know, you better make sure you go to church. You better make sure you follow all the rules they tell you. You better make sure that, now you understand like why they gave their children over to the priests. Now you understand why they allowed the priests to assault their children. Now you understand like why I know like a lot of like, I can only speak for myself. I mean, I know a lot of black people. I know a lot of a lot of Latinos. A lot of people really push out religion because, see, that religion is what kept them from being treated like us. So see, they're just in the middle, like wherever it's the wind's blowing, that's where they're going. Wherever the wind is blowing, that's where they're going. So now you understand, like, they're watching the convict leasing program. They're seeing how our people are totally getting screwed by the system. They're seeing how they're just picking up our people left and right for petty offenses. And they see how they were giving them these long sentences. And then they would be stuck in jail. And then these people will come by and say, okay, look, I will pay your bail so that you can get out of jail. But you got to sign this agreement, this working agreement, okay? That you're going to give me a certain amount of years of service, to pay back this money for bail. And then they would sign it so they can get out of jail, but then they would be put in these barracks and worked to death. Worked to death. They never even probably made it to court, a lot of them, because they were killed or worked to death before they even got to their trial. You see what I'm saying? So these are the kinds of things that these people have been doing. And these are the things that the vassals have been watching. And they have been told, if you don't have the same kind of hatred that us Edomites have, then you're going to end up in the same situation. You know how easily I can pick up these Negroes. You know how easy I can fake charges against you Negroes. I can do the same thing for your child. I can do the same thing for your husband. I do the same thing for you if you don't worship my God. If you don't worship, the way we tell you to. If you don't make sure that your kids are presented to Baal every single Sunday. As long as if you don't go and make sure your kids do their first communion. You don't go and make sure that they're not baptized in the church. If you don't go and make sure they don't follow what my priests say. Now you see, now you understand like why this has been going on the way that it's been. I said, and why the other nations say absolutely nothing. $880 million that they've agreed to pay. Go ahead. And no one says a word because that's that's in their spirit. It's in their spirit to not say a word. It's in their spirit to shut the hell up and don't say shit. That's exactly what is in their spirit now. I mean, I think about that, brother Yisrael. I mean, that's a horrible thing to live through. I mean, think of our parents seeing our kids. They know the deal. They know what's going on. They know that they're making up these fake charges. My son is outside, and all of a sudden he's loitering. Now he's going to get a 5-year sentence for loitering. Oh, you don't have a job. Oh, or if you're working in a white man's plantation and you decide you don't want to work there anymore, you broke contract, therefore we can pick you up and put you in this. I mean, they're doing all these different horrible things, and everybody's sitting here on the sidelines watching, and they see what's happening to our people, and they don't want any parts of that. So therefore they'll follow anything that they're told to do because they don't want their children to go through what our children are going through. You see what I'm saying? Like these are the things that have been going on. These are the things. And now they're seeing what's going on. They deleted this history. It's slavery by another name, and I'm telling you, man, it really vexed my spirit last night. It really, I had to read a few pages and close it because it was just like you can just feel the pain and the despair of what is going on here. I mean, I got children. I got children close to those ages. I've had, and it's like you got 14-year-olds just getting swooped up and then worked to death. And you trying to think that no one's gonna have to pay for this shit? No one's gonna have to, pay for any of the stuff that's happening or has happened to our people? You guys really, I said, you really think that? Or that you're gonna be able to watch what's happened to our people, and that the Most High is gonna give you the opportunity to just jump on in here and we're all gonna be equal and moving forward. When we were going through our pain, you did not say a word. Your silence is compliance. Your silence is compliance. Shalom, family. Great seeing everybody here. But like I said, it's just it's horrible because now the Most High is showing you the vassals as well as these Edomites, and even all the way to today. That's why you're not saying anything even to today, because they know they're guilty. They know they never stood up for the Most High's chosen people. Their whole existence for these vassals has been, thank God I'm not you black people. Thank God I'm not having I'm not as bad as you black people are. I'm not getting as bad as you black people are. I said, because none of them have been telling us the truth. I shared a video by Sister Pat. She sent it to me this morning and asked me to share it, and I'm checking it out about the black nobility. And if you look at I put it in the community section, and it's funny because it got a white guy. Oh man, they never told us. Can you believe they've hidden this the whole time? They've never told us. Man, miss me with the bullshit. You knew exactly who we are. See, that's the whole thing. And they want to tell things from their perspective. When you listen to it, they're talking about all these black people reintroduced these, this technology or this. They reintroduced it. Well, again, you're trying to make it sound like what you had it at first and you lost it and we reintroduced it. No, we didn't reintroduce it. We were given, it was given to us and we spread it, period. There was no other, you did anything. And someone was like, we're not trying to say like white people or Asian people couldn't come up with this stuff. Like, at the beginning, like they're trying to sit here and say all these things. Like, it's not like we couldn't do it. No, you couldn't do it because the Most High is not dealing with you like that. Most High has never dealt with you like that. The Most High is the one who's given us the knowledge and understanding. That's our position. And you want to act like we reintroduced it during the time of the Moors. As if somehow you guys had this understanding before, which you never did. Because like I said, the Most High never dealt with you like that. He's dealing with a specific line of people. And they're the ones who have been given this knowledge and understanding, right? When we went down, that was your renaissance. That was your rebirth, right? And was it really a rebirth or was it just your first birth? Because then you had an opportunity to rule and reign. You see what I'm saying? But this is what is going on right now. So now the Most High is exposing, hey man, we've already known about Esau. We already know about Ish. Now he's showing you also about these vassals who've sat around and watched. And see, now you understand, like I said, now you understand exactly why they've allowed the priests to have their children. Now you understand why they don't say a word. Because the alternative is the priests are still gonna have your children and we're gonna put them into this horrible position like we're putting these so-called black people, like we're putting the Israelites into. So you pick, and that's the thing. You guys are going to be vassals again. You're going to be vassals to the Israelites because we are. Are you enjoying this show already? Are you not entertained, vassals? Because now what you're seeing is that white God you've been praying to, the white God you've been thanking for. Thank God. Thank God for this. Thank God. You mean pretty much just thank your Satan. Thank Satan for me not being treated like you Negroes. Thank Satan for me not being in a position like these so-called black people. But now, are you not entertained? Because now those same Negroes are now being raised up, and we're destroying every single thing you believe in. Every single thing that you have been taught to believe in, every single thing you've given your heart and your soul to is now being destroyed by those same Negroes that you hate. You see what I'm saying? By those people that you hate, by the people that you have looked down upon, those are now the ones that are destroying your religion. I haven't heard any of you guys defending your priests. I've not heard any of you guys defending the fact that you're paying, or try to explain the fact that you're paying for priests to rape your children. All you do is mess with numbers. It's funny, that video only has like 400 views supposedly on TikTok, and only 4,000 views on whatchamacallit, YouTube. So, you know, and it's like almost 1,000 likes, but only 4,000 views. I mean, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But see, it doesn't. The numbers don't matter. Do the numbers change the fact that you're paying to have your kids raped by the priest? Oh, and you're also paying so that they don't have to actually come out here in public and go to jail and be exposed, that your money's doing all that. But see, none of you guys are going to bring that out, because 99% of you guys are complicit. You're already in agreement with that. You're like, okay, so long as I don't have to be treated like these black people, you good. You can do whatever you want with my kids. I don't care. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's what's been going on. And see, there's only going to be a small percentage of us who are going to bring out this truth. And we know you guys are here watching, because this is the confirmation of the destruction of your society. Exactly. We are the mouthpiece of the Most High. We are the mouthpiece of the Most High. Now, one of the brothers was messaging me, and he was showing me, he shared a video with me about how, you know, the Latin community is just getting sick and tired of what's going on. And if they're getting sick and tired, and they're gonna, you know, people keep saying that these people are getting sick and tired. The Arabs are getting sick and tired of Ish. And how can you be sick and tired when you're nothing but a vassal? You see what I'm saying? How exactly can you be sick and tired when you've made an agreement with Satan to be in the position that you're in? You see what I'm saying? How exactly is that? You see what I'm saying? Like, you can't be sick and tired when you signed a blood covenant with Satan. You said, do you want the phone now? No? Okay, good. I said, you signed a blood covenant with Satan to let him do whatever it is he wants to do, and you just take it. That's what you decided to do. That's what you decided to do. That was the blood covenant you made. So how can you be sick and tired all of a sudden? What are you going to do? You made this. You already made this covenant with Satan and his demons. You already got your payoff. So what you're gonna say? Oh, I don't want my payoff now. I don't want to be affiliated with you anymore. How does that work out? Is the Most High going to say? Is the Satan gonna be like, oh, okay, well that's cool. I mean, I know you got all these benefits, but you know what? Go ahead and go. Go ahead and join the Most High's team. You think that's how it's going to work? You really think that's how it's going to work? Because that's not how it's going to work. I said, not at all. I said, yeah, you might be able to join later on after you pay in full what you owe. You see what I'm saying? I said, after you pay what you owe, you're not going to be able to just switch teams without paying the price, my boy. You got a lot of work to do. You got a lot of things to fix. You got a lot of things to amend for. I said, why do you think we were going through what we went through? Because we had a lot of things to, repent from. We had a lot of things to amend for. We did a lot of horrible things that the Most High did not approve of. So therefore, that's the only reason why we were in the position that we were in. That is the reason why we were at the bottom for a long time. And that is why some of you guys got an opportunity to play us for a while. You got a chance to play the Israelites for a little while. But now we're back. So when you're looking at slavery by another name, they did not free us from slavery. They just they said, hey, you know what, man, there's only so many of you Edomites who are benefiting from the destruction and from the exploitation of these niggas over here. There's only a few of you guys who are really getting all of the money and the respect, and the standing. That's not fair. The South, you guys got way too many niggas down there, and you got way too much money down there. We need to open this up to more people. We need to open this up worldwide. So what we're gonna do, okay, is we're gonna go ahead and destroy your system down there. You good? We're gonna destroy your system down there of slavery. But don't worry. Now you understand why they got paid. we're gonna pay you for your slaves. Okay, we know we're gonna mess up your your money, whatever else. We're gonna pay you for your slaves. Now you understand why they paid the South for the slaves. But we're gonna go ahead and open this up, because what we're gonna do is we're gonna criminalize everything that these Negroes do, and we're gonna put them in jail. And then from there, we're going to lease them out, and then you can just work them to death, and not have to worry about, like, not having enough of them, because we gonna keep on just throwing them in the system, and you're gonna have as many as you want, and now you don't gotta maintain them or anything. So you can take some of that money that we're gonna pay you for all the slaves that you had and everything else, and then you can go ahead and be part of this new system. And that's exactly it. That was the whole slavery by another name. And then all of a sudden now they opened it up so that the whole world could be able to do that. It's exact, and then in your history books, we're going to talk about how we freed the slaves. So therefore, you guys should all be happy, because in 1865 we freed you guys, and everything's been fair ever since. Everything's been fair and above board, and we've been treating you guys as equal, and we've all been getting equal opportunities. Yeah, you so-called colonizers, Edomites, and other people who've been aligned with you. Yeah, you've all been freely able to go through the penal system and screw us over that way. Again, so crafty counsel against our people. Crafty counsel against our people. Even after 1865, even after the supposed the abolished slavery. But see, this is like how they work with the Democrats and Republicans. You got one group that wanted to make them, oh yeah, we went against the South, and we took them down so that you guys could have your independence. But then in the North, they went ahead and passed some new laws where they pretty much put us back into slavery with the 13th Amendment. And then it was even worse for us, because then they had no reason to try to actually treat us right. In fact, it was better for them to just work us to death. And you vassals have just sat on the side and just watched. So things did not get better after you guys abolished slavery, supposedly. It actually got worse. Our treatment got worse. Because then you could work us to death and not have to worry about the financial cost of killing us. And then you have the nerve to sit here and put some more sellouts in front of us and act like they're our people, like Obama. So you're trying to, you black people, you black men need to get in line. Who the fuck are you? You're not even our people. And you're sitting here trying to tell us what the hell we need to do in. You know what I'm saying? It gets really upsetting when you sit here and you put these vassals in front of us and you try to say that they're our people and that they're somehow our leaders. When again, they're handpicked, just like you try to, it's the same as not working no more. Just like, you throw Kamala out here, oh, she's black like you. But see, this is what you guys have been doing. You've been throwing these tears out in front of us and then acting as if somehow they got our the best interests of our people at heart, and we need to be listening to them. You see what I'm saying? Like freaking Hamites, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, get the hell up out of here. I said, those days are done. Yeah, it goes into black codes. I mean, the stuff they were putting our people in prison for and accusing them of, I said, it just goes back to, like I said, the Pacific slave trade and how they were over there doing the same things over there against us as well. You see what I'm saying? And see, they need this small percentage of us to give our power to them. And that's exactly what they've been trying to do. That's what this whole election is about. Oh man, Kamala, okay, she's a black woman. No, now we know she's not a black woman. Oh, she goes out on these interviews and she screws up. Oh, wait, now, Trump doesn't say anything, but everybody's like, no, that's the other alternative. He's gonna make America great again. So everybody go vote for Trump. I see all these black dudes gonna go vote for Trump. I'm like, what? I like, you vassals, you're doing the same thing. Look, you guys, you're having your opportunity to decide also. Like, you should realize that you don't have you guys are in a really bad situation, but you're only gonna make it worse by voting for either of these two idiots. You see what I'm saying? I said, because neither of those groups are for you. See, all of a sudden now they're making it seem like, oh, they're for the migrants and this and that. They're not for migrants either. Last time I checked, I think most of the people that the priests were sexually assaulting were a bunch of migrants' children. You see what I'm saying? I said, so you think they care about you? They care about using you and your kids. They care about that. I said, but you're still going to go to church and pray to white Jesus tomorrow, aren't you? You're still going to go there and do your little prayers, your little Hail Marys, all right, and your little Our Fathers, and you're going to ask you're going to go in front of the priest and have him give you the host and the wine and everything else, right? See, you're having to make a decision too. I said, because the switch is already here. The switch is already here. You're getting your opportunity to decide which side of the road you're going to be on. See, in 2 Baruch 72 or around there, and the Sefer, it talks about how there's certain groups of the Gentiles are broken into two groups. The ones that have had their hand in our destruction, there ain't nothing nice coming for you at all. The ones that haven't had a hand in our destruction, you're going to be the handmaids and everything else and the servants or whatever else. That's what it talks about. In Isaiah 14, 1, 2, and 3. Read it yourself. Don't take my word for it. It talks about taking people as a possession, right? And they're going to be servants and handmaids. And that goes into more depth in 2 Baruch 72 in the whatchamacallit, in the Sefer. So you can believe whatever you want. I don't care at this point. Okay, because the more I read, the more I see the fact that all you other people have been totally aware of how we've been treated, and you have said nothing about it. So therefore, at this point, I don't care. I don't care. Okay, because I'm going to do exactly the same thing. I'm going to be sitting on the sideline, right, drinking my wine, chilling, and then watching the destruction, okay, just like you did. Just like you did. You sit here, worshiping the white man, worshiping white Jesus and everything else, even after all the horrible things he's been doing to you and your children, and you keep on doing that. Exactly. With thine eyes, you will see the reward of the wicked. And that is exactly what it is. Yep, your silence implies consent. Okay? So don't sit here and try to play the dumb role, try to play the I didn't know, play the passive role. You all know. This is why right now, all this information is going out worldwide. So that you can see that we already see you. So you can see that we see. You see what I'm saying? We see you. We see the ones that look like us, that have tried to sit here and lead us astray. We see you too. We see you trying to slither in here. Hey, brother, I'm down, whatever. I love what you're saying, and I've been with you. I've been rocking with you for that. I'm like, how do I know? I'm not like that. That's not how I am. Okay, my circle is very small. You know what I'm saying? The one that leads me is the Most High and the Holy Spirit. See, you always sit here just to talk all this mess about my mother, about there's no such thing. There's no such thing as a Holy Spirit. It's not a female. Blah blah blah. I said, where are y'all now? You guys have nothing to say. You guys have nothing to say. Yeah, you can already see that we are absolutely kicking your ass as far as your religions are concerned. Your religions have been absolutely destroyed. And we just getting started, my boy. We just getting started with all that, okay? I said, the Most High, we are on one accord. I was thinking about something, and one of the brothers messaged me and went exactly with, what he was already showing me about, all these other books coming out of here at the end, all this information, how the Most High is showing some mercy to some of you Gentiles by allowing you to hear this truth and allowing you to make a decision. So see, just because they keep on messing with the numbers and making it sound like there's less and less people, that just confirmation that there's probably hundreds of thousands of people here watching right now. You know why? I said, because where else are you going to get the truth? You're only going to get the truth from so-called Negroes that look like me, that have the Holy Spirit, okay, who are now bringing this information out. 99.9% of you are with all the same bullshit that you've been espousing for the last 1,000 years. White Jesus is going to save you. White Jesus came and died for everybody. And white Jesus is going to rapture you up out of here because he doesn't want you to have to go through anything. All the while, you have been watching the so-called Negroes being absolutely destroyed. How many videos are you going to watch about how Israel's about to attack Iran? How many are you going to watch about, I could get your bug out bags ready. This is it. BRICS is going to do this. BRICS is going to do that. The Arabs are going to do this. The Arabs are going to do that. Arabs ain't done shit. And they're not going to do shit because they're nothing but a bunch of vassals. So you only going to get truth? Like, there's billions of people in this world. Many of them are like, trust me, many of these vassals are sick and tired of these Edomites too. They're sick and tired of these Edomites too. They're just like the animals, the trees, the birds, the air, the water. They all have memory. All of them want these damn Edomites up out the way. They can't wait for the Edomites and their rulership to be over with. You see what I'm saying? I said they're waiting for that too. So trust me, they're here looking too, because they're like, finally, the Most High is turned back to his people. Finally, the Holy Spirit has been sent to his people, because they know they can't say anything because they made a covenant, but they know that the world is mourning. They know that all of creation is mourning right now, right? They're mourning too, because they know that once the Most High raises up his people, it's a wrap for these other nations. It's a wrap in levels. It's a wrap for, you know, the Edomites. It's a wrap for the colonizers, right? It's a wrap for the people who have been made a covenant with these colonizers. I said, but again, it's all in levels. Just like we get awakened in levels, it's still the same thing for these so-called Gentiles. If you have not been, you know, taking part in our destruction, things might not go as bad for you. The ones that have been, you know, excitedly taken in, you know, going into our destruction, had their hand in our destruction, who have really been willing, loving participant in that, yeah, it's gonna be horrible for you, because the Most High gonna make you, all the things that you've done to us is gonna go back to you. Now you guys know in Isaiah where it talks about how our people were hidden in prison holes, and our people this was happening to them, and that was happening to them. How, you know, they didn't have any food, they didn't have any water. Like, look, if you can't see now that that's talking about the so-called Negroes, and how we've been put all the way down at the bottom, and you can't see that, I said, I don't know what to tell you. I said, because that's talking about us. It's not talking about everyone. It's talking about how that's been happening specifically to one group of people, and the whole world has watched. But see, now, I said, but now we have been awakened. We did not have any help from any of you. We have not had help from any of you Edomites. We have not had help from any of you vassals. We've had the only entity that has helped us has been the Holy Spirit, who was sent to us. The Holy Spirit, our angels, our ancestors, and people say, "Oh, your ancestors. You know, you don't pray to your ancestors." What is acknowledging our ancestors? How is that evil somehow? You see, again, that's what they want you to believe. You see, and again, why in the hell am I listening to people who have been actively working against me? Why would I listen to your breakdown about how I should be interacting with my ancestors? They're not your ancestors. These ancestors are not yours. We talk about Moses. We talk about Joshua. Right? We talk about Yahushai. Those are our ancestors too. But I'm going to listen to some group of people, 99%, who have been actively working against me, just about how to break down my Bible and how I'm going to interact with my ancestors. Yeah, miss me with that shit too. Miss me with all that shit too. I said, you guys have nothing to say. You got nothing to say about the actions of your ancestors. You have nothing to say about the actions and how I choose to, you know, give homage or, you know, acknowledge my ancestors, my angels, and my power. You have nothing to say about any of that. You have nothing to say, because you're not talking about your ancestors. See, you want to believe that your ancestors have nothing to do with what's happening now, because your ancestors have done nothing but rape, rob, murder, and steal my people. That's why all of a sudden the ancestors aren't important. See, they're not important to you, because your ancestors are responsible for the death and destruction and the wayward ways of this world. That is the reason why you try to have a disconnect between ancestors. My ancestors, I says, were absolutely destroyed, treated wrong, and never received justice. So therefore, you don't want anyone talking about ancestors. You see what I'm saying? That is the huge difference here about your perspective of things and mine. My ancestors, I said, I am my ancestors. Their DNA flows through my veins. That DNA of their memory goes through my veins. The hatred they had for you, and because you treated them so horrible, I said, that runs through my veins. Just like your hatred, the unrighteous hatred you had for my people runs through your DNA. We want justice. My people want justice. That is what runs through my DNA. Your people want to hide your actions. That's what runs through your DNA. But you don't have a problem anymore coming trying to tell me how I should feel about my ancestors. You see what I'm saying? That is the huge difference that is going on here. That is why you do nothing but try to hide numbers, hide how much influence we're having here. Look, like I said, if there's 7-8 billion people in this world, and they are sick and tired of mourning in this society, in this matrix, then who do you think they're going to turn to? They're going to turn to the Most High's chosen people. Because why is that? Because the Spirit is going to turn the ones that need to hear this message. So all the numbers always going to the same amounts and stopping all the time shows me that there's way more people that are sick and tired of Esau. You know, yes, many people are sick and tired of Esau. Some people might not be as in deep with Esau, right? Let's go, boy. I said some people might not be as in deep with Esau, and they might, Most High might be giving them an opportunity to hear this truth and make a change. Your time is short for making a change. You're gonna look over here. Thank you, sir. I said, time is short. I said, what you do have, you should be willingly giving to the Israelites. What you do already possess, you should willingly be already trying to give to help, you know, to give to the Israelites. That's what the Egyptians did. I say, because the thing is this, we're going to get it anyways. That's the whole thing. Why don't you get this whole, you ain't keeping anything that belongs to us anyways. You're not keeping anything that doesn't belong to, that belongs to us. The Most High is going to make sure that everything that belongs to us is coming back to us. Just like you've worked so hard to keep us from this knowledge and understanding, you couldn't stop that, right? You said your churches are totally exposed. They got nothing to say. And if they got billions of dollars just sitting around to pay for people that are sexually assaulting children, I said, all that stuff they got from us. And the Most High, just like always, like he said, everything that was ours before is coming back to us. So you have a choice to either give it to us willfully and get a blessing for that, or you're going to go ahead and it's going to be taken from you by the Most High, and you're going to have to pay even more. You could, like I said, you couldn't stop this truth now. You can't stop it now. I said, and it's not all Negroes. That's the whole thing. You guys understand this. You know, again, that's your church. Oh, it's all. It ain't all. It's a very small portion of us that have been given this knowledge and understanding. And there's going to be other nations. Again, our people are going to look like other nations as well. I said, but they're going to have only way you can tell who we are is by our spirit and what we're bringing out. The elect are going to be the ones bringing out this truth. We're the ones that are going to be bringing out the truth. We're the ones that all the stuff that this beautiful stuff you see already over here, that's all ours. That's all ours. We believe it now. We're not going. Zion, get over here. Out of the street. Over here. I said it's all ours. I said, so it doesn't really matter if you believe it or not. If you think it's yours, you can believe whatever you want. You also think that white Jesus is going to save you too. You also believe that these priests have your best interest at heart too, huh? I said, what exactly have they told you that's true? What exactly have they told you that you can honestly say is the truth? Nothing. They've told you that we were nothing, and we are the pinnacle of this world. We are at the top of this world. And if you don't believe it, try to have a discussion disproving what we're bringing out. If you don't think that we are the Most High's chosen seed, and if you don't think that we are the Most High's children and that we have been raised up at these days, prove us wrong. I'm waiting for someone to still try to prove us wrong. I said, because I haven't seen absolutely anyone do that yet. So see, it doesn't matter what I say as far as, you know, who I am or whatever else. I said, it's proven by the Most High. It's not about what I say, what I believe, what I think. It's all about what the Most High is showing you. So like I said, where are your priests at? Why aren't they bringing out any of this information? Why aren't they disproving any of this? Where are your pastors at? Why aren't they disproving any of this? They're just telling you to shut up. Don't say anything. Don't you be talking to them Negroes. Don't you be looking at their freaking channels. Don't you be looking at Big Judah's channel. You made a covenant with me. You don't be looking over there. You don't be listening to what they say over there. You better not give them anything. I said, because you've already made, I gave you this money, I gave you this status, and you don't even listen to them. You see what I'm saying? See, and that's not gonna go well for you. That is not gonna go well for you. Like I said, these people have lied to you about absolutely everything. And we are here now, and there's no putting this genie back in the bottle. Much love, family. Shalom.